Hey, what's up, everybody? Pat here, grateful recovering alcoholic and addict here for another, just like every other day, guys. Try tripping up. Guys, please subscribe, hit the like button. I'm getting a lot more subscribers, guys. If you wouldn't mind, please hit the like button. It helps the get the video out to more people, and I greatly appreciate it. More than anything, thank you all for being here. Definitely noticing more comments lately, and that means the world to me. Also seeing people in the in the comment section uplifting other people, and that's awesome, guys. That's what we're here for, right? Guys, if you're going through something, please reach out, right? There's nothing worse than feeling like you have nobody or that you're isolated, because if you're watching this video, you're not alone, man. I'm here with you, male, female, it doesn't matter. We're all family here, guys, right? And when you reach out and you leave a comment, other people watching we got friends that are helping each other out, right? We'll all reach out together. That's the whole point of doing this, guys. This isn't about me; it's about us, right? And I'm trying to share, like literally, guys. I used to be so isolated. I cut out, isolated myself from my whole family. I drove my ex-wife, my now ex-wife, drove her off. And literally I dealt with my customers and they didn't know who I was because I put up a fake front for work, and I was high as a kite all day anyway. And literally all I talked to was drug dealers, and that was terrible, right? But that's what I'd done to myself, and literally praying is what got me out of that. So that's why I tell you guys to give prayer a shot, man. Prayer literally it invites something bigger than you into your world, right? And again, I find it. I love the fact that that's where I'm at today, but I still hear myself saying these things. And I'm like, wow, man, have I really changed? And literally, guys, prayer changed my life. So I urge you to try it, right? And again, if prayer doesn't work for you, then meditate, right? But you've gotta arrest when you feel like you're that life is overwhelming you, and that you're just it's the snowball effect of negativity and everything's crushing down on you. You've got to get out of your head. You've got to get it out. Now, again, if somebody's oppressing you, take whatever steps necessary to get those people out of your life. Whether you got to involve authorities, whether you need professional help, whatever it is, right? If you can't stick up for yourself, then find somebody that will, or that will remove them from you. Because everybody should have the right to be happy and to find joy in life. Literally everybody, right? We all. It should be it's our birthright. You know what I mean? And I know circumstances can be tough, but there's always something that can be done. If you can't see anything, guys, reach out. And again, if you don't want to put it publicly, I list my email. Send me a private email. I'll never put your information out there, but I'll work with you one on one and try and come up with a solution that at least get things under arrest. Now, once you stop that type of stuff, if you're sitting in a depressive state and you just feel like you've got no joy, then you know what? Look up funny fails or anything comical. Look up cute kitten videos, right? Give yourself a half an hour of just laughter. Like there's always something funny on the internet. If you watch my video, you can find you obviously have access to internet. Find something uplifting. Like myself, I'll tell you straight up. I don't turn my TV on anymore. I've since the first week of December, I've only watched the Super Bowl, and I'll occasionally put YouTube on the channel or something. But like I decided that I needed to retrain my brain, because all I ever used to watch was news and true crime. And I'm literally like, I wonder why I'm in this negative state, and I'm literally just immersing myself in murder mystery, because I find it fascinating, and I like to learn about the human condition. But I realized that I was just filling myself with negativity, and I was losing my joy. I didn't laugh anymore. I wasn't outwardly miserable, because I always choose to be happy, but I realized I wasn't allowing any joy, anything upbeat and uplifting into my life. So I went 180 degrees. I started I'll share with you guys. I'm real big on tarot readers, right? I found a group of tarot readers that are very uplifting, and people that push positivity, and it's very spiritual, and I see situations coming when I know, like, and again, everything is guidance. I don't take anything as hard fact. I take everything that comes, one at a time. But I found, for me, it made me start looking into more different things. It got me, bigger into my spirituality. It made me want to help other people. It made me want to start this channel. But basically, what? I got out of myself. I finally arrested that negative cycle. I wasn't afraid to reinvent myself, and I wasn't afraid to cut out everything in my life. And it wasn't easy, guys. And again, I took it a little bit easier, right? Because I literally put myself in a hospital for a month. and people got used to not seeing me. But then as I came back, those same people were expecting me right back to where I was, and I was willing to stand for myself. Like, no, absolutely not, man. Once I was able to stop and step back and realize just how far out of control my entire life had gotten, I realized that no way was I willing to get back to that. So, sometimes that's what it takes, guys, is being willing to go check yourself in for 3 to 5 days or a month if you can, or, whatever you got to do. What you got to have some, you got to get some time where you can let your head get clear. Whatever that looks like for you, however you can do it, whether you can put headphones on and meditate for an hour, I strongly urge trying that, literally, guys. It's literally just, you gotta, when you've got that overwhelming negative thought process going, and again, somebody I'm trying to help out right now is in the midst of that, and it's like every time I start to get through it or a little bit, she comes in today. Today the house is haunted, and like it's just one thing after the other. I'm like, you gotta just stop and breathe. Do whatever it takes that you can sit with your thoughts for an extended period of time and not be getting overwhelmed, right? And if you have to, like, again, find something lighthearted and put on a damn Disney movie and watch something like upbeat and laugh, Pixar movie, something lighthearted and amusing. That's gonna bring a little smile and a little laughter and literally do that for 6 hours and just get out of the negative space that you're in, or whatever it looks like for you. But basically, you gotta stop the cycle, right? You can't be afraid, because every one of us has the ability to reinvent ourselves, guys. I've reinvented myself. So I was a master auto and diesel mechanic till I got so messed up on drugs that I allowed idiots around me, and I lost $700,000 in tools and equipment. So literally, I walked away, and I tell you what, I did it the wrong way, because I did it out of fear, and not out of fear, but out of frustration and anger. And I literally bit my nose off to spite my face. I had family that would have helped me out, and again, but I wasn't willing to go turn myself into a rehab at that point in time. I ended up homeless on the streets of Waltham for 3.5 years, injecting fucking drugs and literally running around all day just to, I was sick most of the day. It would take me, till 5, 6, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock at night to hustle up the $40 to get, the drugs to get high. And literally, like, it'd be, 8, 9 o'clock at night, I'd finally not feeling like I was going to die, and I'd pass out, and I'd wake up the next morning feeling sick and have to go do that. Like, it was just the worst. The worst. Literally, guys, I would get picked up and get arrested on a warrant, and I'd go to jail, and after 3 to 5 days of detoxing in jail, I'd be so happy because I'd broken the cycle. But the problem is, I didn't take the next step, and I'd get back out a couple weeks later, and I'd go right back to it. The first thing I want to do is get out of jail and go use drugs again, like, and there I go, off and running again. And I'm an immensely talented individual. I'd get these jobs in between, but I'd end up, because I was doing the drugs, I would end up losing these jobs left and right, and it was just terrible, right? So I'll never go back to it. And again, the difference for me is I found faith. I found God. Or not found God. I allowed God into my life. I invited God into my life. I said a prayer and meant it. Like, I was at the end of my rope. I needed something better. And sometimes catastrophe, it's a terrible way to get better, but that's what I used to have to do. And this is the first time I didn't, because I invited God into my life before my life burned to the ground. And I talk about it all the time. Like, again, I'm not balling by any means, but look how quickly my life has turned around and how quickly I'm getting to places where magical things are happening on a daily basis. I was talking about the other day about the pickup truck, and this is, wait till you guys hear this one. Because I acknowledged that I was, in a situation where I felt like I was going to start taking advantage because I was given a vehicle to use, and that was more or less like, running around doing, work for one, the person that owned the truck. Or if I want to use it going to the gym or going to the grocery store or going to meetings, no problem. Then I quit my job. Now I'm working for myself, and I'm still using this pickup truck. And I'm like, right as it was dawning on me, I'm like, I've got to do something about this, because I don't want, this guy kept his truck immaculate. If he saw buckets of tools in the back seat, he'd have a heart attack, right? Well, no sooner do I bring that up, because literally I walk hand in hand with God, and I go so far out of my way to do good things for other people. I'm building up so much good karma that I didn't even have to approach him with it. He literally came to me and said, hey, don't worry about it. I'll rent the truck. That's your truck. And now get this, guys. He called me this morning. We were talking about it. He goes, I really am in retirement now. I don't need a pickup. If I come home, I'm going to rent a vehicle. He goes, how would you feel about buying the truck? And I'm like, oh boy. I'm like, this is, this truck's got a value of about $45,000. I'm like, I can't afford this. And I know he'll let me make payments, but I'm like, scary to me to think about that. Guys, he turned around and said, listen, I tell you what, I'll give you the truck for $5,000. And basically what it comes down to is I'm getting ahead with my rent now, and I do X amount of work for him during the week, and I turn in a slip at the end of the week, and it goes towards my rent. I don't ask him to come out of pocket with any cash. I do my other work for cash because this guy does so much for me. I'm like, you know what? I'd rather just build it up and have my rent covered for, however long. And with the help from the government paying my back rent, I'm now going to be 3 or 4 months ahead for rent, which is great because, I mean, guys, I was just literally 4 months behind in rent. In 2 short months now, I'm going to be about 4 months ahead of rent, right? So he goes, rather than doing that, he goes, I tell you what, he goes, why don't you buy the pickup truck off me? Just, he's leaving it registered, leaving it insured. He's covering all that because that's just part of the business expense he had anyway. But, instead of just, basically, the slip that I turn in at the end of the week, half will go towards the $5,000 for the truck and half will go towards towards rent. I'm still going to be months ahead with rent, and probably, in the next 3 or 4 months, the truck will be paid for. And I was just gifted a $45,000 truck for $5,000 that I don't have to come out of pocket for. I mean, that's shocking to me, right? Like, literally, I almost had tears in my eyes this morning when he told me that. I'm like, and not only that, but now I have the joy of like looking at this beautiful truck that I'm driving every day and knowing it's mine. Like, that's amazing to me. This is by far the nicest vehicle I've ever owned, right? And these are just the things that are happening on a daily basis because I was willing to throw the towel in and just surrender and just burn my life to the ground so that I could start building a new one. And then once I did that, I realized, you know what? I was sitting in rehab and I'm like, I gotta figure out why I hate myself. And again, I looked at all that and I healed all those wounds and realized I didn't hate myself. I just wasn't sticking up for myself. I lost my spark for life, and I said, no way, man. I'm gonna give this my all, right? I made a decision to myself to invest in myself, to take every opportunity that came in front of me, whether I thought I needed it or not, whether I would. The ones that I thought I needed the least, and the ones that I thought the idea of sounded ridiculous the most, are the ones that I needed the most. And I literally, and again, I've gone through with all of them, and I'm letting some of them go because they're not fitting in, and the ones that are, I'm holding on to and diving, deeper and deeper in. And then on top of that, I'm going over and above, and I'm taking courses that are like way over my head, but I'm diving in and challenging myself to catch up and figure it out and try it, and I give me, everything new I try, I guarantee, I commit to for a minimum of 30 days, and again, if it's not something I like after 30 days, when I get a legit feel for it, then I'll look at something else. But I make sure that I'm doing something positive every day. And anybody can. If you literally stop the snowball effect, sit with yourself, heal. You gotta heal, guys. You gotta heal. You can't carry, you can't climb a ladder with an 800-pound gorilla on your back. Simple as that. You've got to heal the things you need to heal. And you got to reach out. You can't always do these things by yourself. Reach out, speak to your God. Reach out to us here if need be, guys. We'll point, if nothing else, we're here to listen to you and let you know that you're not alone, because none of us are alone. If you're watching my channel, you're not alone. You've got a collective here that are all good people that care about each other, right? We're literally doing this together, guys. And that's why I love commenting and going back and forth with you guys. Get a good laugh, whether you're laughing at me, whether we're laughing at each other, or we're just uplifting each other. That's what it's all about, and that goes a long way. We all need encouragement. We all need support, and none of you need to feel alone, so I urge you. Because I'm getting, between this platform and the other platform, I'm starting to get people getting comfortable with me and starting to reach out and let me know that they appreciate that. And that means the world to me, guys, because sometimes I think to myself, does anybody give a shit? And when I hear that and realize that people like to hear that, I'm able to do what I know to do and that I've overcome what I've overcome, and that encourages, like, I'll never stop doing this at that point, right, guys? I don't care if I have 10 people watching. As long as people are watching and getting something out of it, I'm going to keep doing it because that fills my heart with joy. That's literally what I'm all about today. And I've come to understand that that's my life purpose, is to help other people. And again, in order for me to be able to do that, I've got to challenge myself and make myself the best version, the most knowledgeable version. And that's why I'm taking on all these different experiences I can, because I'm trying to have something to bring back to other people, or even just have to be able to relate with people in as much as I can. So, guys, challenge yourself, right? But, and you don't have to, you don't have to get crazy and have to, put yourself out there. And not many people, I don't know, I guess some reason I've been through enough that I just don't care anymore. Like, I'd rather use my pain and the things that I've been through to help others than just carry it around with me and have to hide it and have shame for it. Because now I'm proud of everything I've been through, because shit happens, guys. Nobody's perfect. I'm certainly by no means perfect. The whole point of me doing this is I want everybody to know that I've been through probably just about as bad as anybody else, and for as long as anybody else, and I've managed to overcome it. And the minute I invited God into my life, I started to overcome it. And now all of a sudden, I'm getting these miracles, these blessings in my life left and right. And I still deal with a lot of bullshit, don't get me wrong, but there's a lot of really good things that are coming down the pike as well. And I'm able to discern the difference between the two, pretty well. And I love that, right? It's fantastic. And, I'm incredibly blessed for it. And I'm trying to share that with you guys. But Jesus Christ, I'm off on a tangent. I didn't even get the stuff I wrote down. But yeah, guys, try it, man. You know what I mean? If you're struggling, I encourage you to reach out. Let's talk. Let's be there for each other like we are now. And I appreciate all of you so much. But yeah, guys, get ahead of it. You got to stop the momentum. That's the biggest thing, guys. Half the time when you're just willing to step back and stop it, acknowledge, like literally take a third person's perspective on what's going on in your life and see where you can make a change. See what you're accountable for, and don't get down on yourself, because guys, you got to be able to forgive yourself. You cannot overcome anything if you're carrying the weight and feeling like you're fucked up. We all fuck up. Who cares? Let that go. Stop it. Step back. Look at it. Acknowledge where you went wrong. What happened, and then change that. Fix that. Heal that. Come at it from another direction. If everything in your life is negative, find whatever you can to cut it out. And if you can't cut it all out, then shut it out and go spend some quiet time with something uplifting and silly and make yourself laugh. Chase joy at all costs. You got to have joy in life, whatever it is. There's always some way. Whether it's just go for a walk in nature and look at the animals, look at the insects, whatever. Communicate with birds. I love doing that. I love watching birds flying around. It's just simple things. If I had said that months ago, I'm like, what? Go watch a bird? Are you out of your fucking tree? But you know what? I do today. And I love it. Like, I love the fact that I've been able to slow myself down, because once you slow things down, you can start to get ahead of things and control things. And when you're behind the 8 ball and everything's constantly crushing you down, you're literally just reacting. Well, now I stop, and I don't react, I respond. And there's a big difference between the two. And you've got to be able to get to a point where you can respond. And that's what I'm doing today. Is I stop, I digest, and I respond. But before I respond, I think, and I actually play the tape through to see, well, if I do this, what's going to happen? If I'm very cautious. And if anything, I'm probably a little too guarded. I'm trying to let my guard down in a lot of ways. And it's funny because, by the same token, I'm getting a lot of bullshit come at me from another direction, and I don't let that bother me. I was starting to, and I'm like, you know what? But again, it's all perception. It was starting to bother me, and I'm like, why am I getting... Well, because what I'm doing, I'm putting myself out there. I'm putting my story publicly, so it makes it a target. When you're, especially on TikTok, we got all these scammers out there. When I'm getting online and saying, guys, fix your life, God will bless you. I'm incredibly blessed today. Here they are. They think, oh, this kid's got something going. Let's go see what we can get out of him. And again, I'm learning to fine-tune my discernment by cutting those people out and seeing through the bullshit, and I'm making it a game of it now, because I can't let it bother me. That's the only thing I can control, is how I react to it. I can either shut down my channel over there and not help people, and I refuse that. That my whole point of this is helping people. So I'll play the game. I'll find a way to make a game out of it, and I'll just, find out what works and what doesn't, and I'll make it so it's at least lighthearted and fun for me. And just let people know, and then I'll share the scams that I find with other people in there so they don't get taken advantage of, and I feel good about that as well. There's a purpose to everything when you're living intentionally. And that's what I understand now today. When I start to think that something's just happening to me, no, it's not. It's happening for me, because I'm able to stop, digest, and respond to it. And when you can respond and not react, you can make everything work in your favor. You can take a lesson and be of service from every direction on everything that happens. So, I guess that's the message today. Hopefully it's not as convoluted as it sounded in my mind. I'll rewatch the video, but I'm going to post it regardless, because that's just what I do. And somebody will get something out of it, and if not, you guys will see just how screwed up my mind is, and yet I keep coming, right? So, no reason why you can't. Guys, God loves you. I love you so much. I'm starting to get more and more encouraged by the channel. I love you guys. I really do. You guys are awesome. I love hearing from you guys. Please, by all means, please like the video. Please leave comments and, share, help me grow, and hit the subscribe button if you haven't. But either way, remember, God loves you, I love you, we're here for a reason, we're doing this together. We'll see you in the next one.